For most of the world, Greenland is a blank space, a massive island of ice stretching into the Arctic Circle, sparsely populated and rarely discussed. On maps, it appears empty, an expanse of white with little reason to linger. But emptiness can be misleading, because for decades, something has been reported moving through the skies above Greenland's ice sheet, silently, repeatedly, and often without explanation. Objects that don't behave like conventional aircraft. Objects that appear where few people are watching. And objects that seem to return to the same region again, and again, and again. Tonight, we're tracing those reports, not to prove what these objects are, but to understand why this place keeps appearing in the story. Satellite imagery of Greenland reveals a landscape that feels almost unnatural. Vast plateaus of ice stretch for hundreds of kilometers, broken only by subtle shadows, fractures, and occasional research stations that look impossibly small by comparison. From above, it's one of the most visually empty places on Earth. But emptiness doesn't mean inactivity. Over the years, pilots, military personnel, and radar operators have reported aerial objects crossing this region with no visible propulsion, no transponder signals, and flight characteristics that don't align with known aircraft. These objects often share the same descriptions: smooth, metallic, or luminous shapes, sudden acceleration or directional changes, complete silence, and a tendency to vanish rather than land. What's unsettling isn't just the behavior, it's the consistency. Greenland keeps showing up. Unexplained aerial sightings over Greenland are not a modern phenomenon. As early as the mid-20th century, military pilots flying Arctic routes reported fast-moving lights and objects pacing aircraft over the ice. These incidents were often filed away quietly, rarely discussed publicly, and usually dismissed as atmospheric effects or instrument errors. But those explanations didn't always hold. In multiple cases, pilots reported visual confirmation alongside radar contact, a combination that is difficult to ignore. Some objects were tracked accelerating beyond known aircraft capabilities, climbing vertically, or changing direction without deceleration. During the Cold War, Greenland's airspace became heavily monitored due to its strategic position between North America and Europe. Radar installations watched the skies constantly, and occasionally they saw things they couldn't identify. These anomalies were often logged, briefly investigated, and then forgotten, buried beneath layers of classification or lost to time. But the pattern never stopped. To understand why these sightings cluster here, you have to understand Greenland's role in global strategy. Greenland isn't just ice, it's position. It sits at the crossroads of transatlantic flight paths, ballistic missile trajectories, and polar satellite orbits. During the Cold War, it became a critical early warning location, hosting radar systems designed to detect incoming threats. Even today, Greenland remains one of the most heavily monitored yet least populated regions on Earth. And that combination matters, because if something wanted to move through Earth's atmosphere while minimizing witnesses, Greenland would be an ideal place. Few civilians, extreme weather that discourages casual observation, vast distances between settlements, and constant military surveillance that quietly records without public attention. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If these objects are being observed here, are they being observed elsewhere too, but simply hidden in noise? In recent decades, reports haven't disappeared, they've evolved. With modern sensors, satellites, and aircraft systems, sightings over Greenland now include radar anomalies, infrared signatures, and multi-sensor tracking events. Some reports describe objects hovering over remote ice fields before accelerating out of sight. Others describe objects moving against prevailing winds or maintaining position in conditions that would ground conventional aircraft. In several cases, radar operators noted targets that appeared suddenly, held position briefly, and then vanished without crossing monitored boundaries. No distress signals, no debris, no explanation. And perhaps most telling of all, no public follow-up. So what could explain these sightings? Some suggest classified military projects, advanced drones, hypersonic platforms, or experimental surveillance craft. Greenland would certainly be a plausible testing ground, but that explanation raises its own questions. Why repeat the same flight paths for decades? Why allow civilian sightings? And why exhibit behaviors that don't align with aerodynamic constraints? Others point to atmospheric phenomena, rare light reflections, plasma effects, or ice-related optical illusions. But again, those explanations struggle when faced with instrument-verified movement and structured flight behavior. And then there's the explanation most people avoid discussing outright, that these objects may not originate from any known nation, or even from Earth at all. We're not saying that's the answer, but we are saying the data doesn't comfortably settle anywhere else. One of the strangest aspects of these sightings is where they occur. Not over cities, not over shipping lanes, but over the ice itself. Greenland's ice sheet covers nearly 80% of the island, hiding whatever lies beneath. Ancient geology, subglacial lakes, and unknown terrain untouched for millennia. Some researchers have speculated, cautiously, that anomalies might be linked to underground structures, geological activity, or something concealed beneath the ice. There is no evidence to confirm this, but there is also no evidence to dismiss it. And when the same airspace continues to produce unexplained activity, year after year, speculation becomes difficult to avoid. Perhaps the most unsettling element of all is how little attention these reports receive. There are no press conferences, no official denials, no thorough explanations, just silence. Documents appear briefly, then vanish. Reports surface, then fade. And Greenland returns to being a blank space on the map. But blank spaces are where mysteries thrive. So what's really happening above Greenland's ice sheet? Are these advanced technologies quietly moving through monitored airspace? Are they rare natural phenomena we still don't fully understand? Or is this region witnessing something entirely outside our current frameworks? We don't know, but the pattern is real, the reports are persistent, and the location is anything but random. Greenland may look empty, but its skies tell a different story, and whatever is moving through them hasn't stopped yet. If these objects are real, and the reports suggest they are, then the question isn't what they are. It's why they keep appearing here. Over one of the most remote, most monitored, and least understood regions on Earth. Greenland's ice sheet doesn't reveal much. It absorbs sound, it erases footprints, and it hides what lies beneath it. Whatever is moving through its skies seems to understand that. And until more data surfaces, until something is acknowledged, explained, or undeniable, these anomalies remain exactly what they've always been, unexplained. Thank you for watching.